I feel like I'm the last person to see this movie, but you know what? I finally saw it, so let's talk about it!
I'm really sorry. I'm so busy. I'm slammed.
Don't mess with me, because I will kill you and everybody you love.
So Spider-Man Homecoming is the newest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and finally Spidey has come home. Finally! But anyways, in Spider-Man Homecoming, we follow Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, as it does away with the origin story, you know, Uncle Ben dying, Hank getting bitten by the radioactive spider. That is completely gone out of the window. But really in more of this film, it's really more about Peter Parker trying to be a kid in high school, also trying to impress Tony Stark to be in the Avengers. And on top of all that, he has to deal with the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. Alright guys, so let's get into Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah! So a lot of people out there, when I heard that Spider-Man was finally come to the MCU, I was thrilled. And plus, when I saw what Tom Holland did as Spider-Man in Civil War, I got even more pumped, because what Tom Holland did and what we did see in Civil War, I thought was amazing. I watched this movie with some high expectations, and I gotta tell you guys, this movie was pretty freaking awesome. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, alright? Now, personally, Tobey Maguire will always hold a very special place in my heart, because Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite comic book movies ever. Like, I love Spider-Man 2, and Tobey Maguire was an amazing Spider-Man. Now, don't get me wrong, he was great. Tom Holland killed it as Spider-Man. Now, the thing I loved about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is that in this version of Spider-Man, they just wanted to show Spider-Man just wanting to try and be a kid in high school, but at the same time, while he wants to balance being a kid in high school while also trying to be a superhero. I really loved that they showed that balance. And it really shows, because when it comes to Tony Stark, I'll get to in a little bit, but really, I loved that they showed that little contrast between the two worlds. And not to mention, Tom Holland was so funny. I love that he brought the jokes of Spider-Man, with one particular scene that had me laughing hysterically. You guys will know when you see it, or if you guys have seen it. Let's just say this, it happens about halfway through the film. I was dying. Now, I said Tony Stark earlier, and I know a lot of people are worried that this is just going to be an Iron Man 4. Rest assured, this is not an Iron Man 4. This is very much Spider-Man's film. Now, does Tony Stark appear in this movie? Yes, he does. He does appear, not all the time, but he does appear in sections throughout the movie. And when he does appear, he did a very, I mean, Tony Stark is Iron Man, okay? And whenever he did appear, I was laughing a lot. And I loved his role that he played with Spider-Man. I thought it was a really inspiring role that really, I thought that brought Tony Stark even more heart to his character. Now, just to tell you guys, all the acting in this movie was fantastic. There really wasn't a sore thumb in this movie. Well, minus one, which I'll get into the cons. When it comes to the villains, the MCU hasn't really had the best track record. I mean, I love Loki, I love the Winter Soldier, and I feel like that people don't give Zemo the credit he deserves. But now I have one person joining those guys, and that is Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Michael Keaton kicked ass in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was so close to stealing the show from Tom Holland. That's how great Michael Keaton was. He was menacing, he was intimidating, he was scary, and plus, he just brought it. Honest to God, I loved Michael Keaton so much that he is my second favorite MCU villain behind Loki. That's how good he was. There was one between him and Tom Holland that I thought was just brilliance. My biggest worry when it came to Spider-Man Homecoming was the writing, and my reasoning was because two of the writers of this film had written the screenplay for 2015's Vacation. And for those of you who saw my top 10 worst films of that year, know I hated Vacation, so I had a lot of reservations when it came to the writing. However, the writing in this film was excellent. It was very John Hughes-like with the tone, which I really dug with how they took this Spider-Man. Like I said, it's more about Peter Parker and Spider-Man trying to deal with being a kid in high school while also dealing with trying to be Spider-Man. And I loved where the writers took the comedic approach to everything that happened. Also, Michael Giacchino's score, I adored his theme for Spider-Man. When it played in the opening scenes, it gave me goosebumps. Michael Giacchino, you're one of the best composers around, and when you retire, I'm going to be one sad film fan. And not to mention, it's a very exciting Spider-Man film. The high school scenes, not just those were exciting, but the action scenes were also a lot of fun to watch, with a very awesome scene that took place on a ferry. Great. I thought it was honestly a great callback to Spider-Man 2. I almost forgot to mention this one thing. As the third act starts, there was this one thing that happens that had me doing this literally in the theater. I almost screamed this. Oh, shit. The post-credit scenes in this movie, and in particular the post-credit scene, one of the funniest post-credit scenes that Marvel has done. I was dying with laughter in this. Now, as I stated before, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is to this day one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Now the question is, does this movie reach the heights of that film? In my humble opinion, it doesn't quite make it there. While I did laugh at most of the humor, there were some jokes that I feel like that did fall flat. Spider-Man, Peter Parker's best friend in the film, honest to God, he kind of got on my nerves a little bit. Like, there was this one scene in particular in which the jokes were just not working for me, and I got so annoyed. The friend character was okay. He wasn't the best comedic relief, but there was a scene that really got on my nerves. Other than that, that's really it. So overall, while Spider-Man Homecoming doesn't quite reach the heights that Spider-Man 2 did, nonetheless, Spider-Man Homecoming is funny, it's exciting, it's heartfelt, it's pretty much what you would want in a Spider-Man film. I had an absolute blast with this film. It's not quite my favorite Marvel film, it's up there with them. Nonetheless, Spider-Man Homecoming was an awesome film altogether, and I'm gonna give Spider-Man Homecoming a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Guys, if you're fans of Spider-Man, and if you love this character in general, guys, just go see this movie. It's a ton of fun. Alrighty guys, so comment down and let me know below. I know I'm like the last person on YouTube to see this movie, but please let me know below. Did you guys like Spider-Man Homecoming? Did you guys hate it? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and Snapchat, all the links and the usernames for all those platforms are in the description below. If you guys enjoyed my review of Spider-Man Homecoming, please hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more reviews just like this one, if you guys want to see my earlier review of War for the Planet of the Apes, please click right here. And if you guys want to see my monthly review of Captain Underpants, please click right here. And of course, until the next review, I will see you guys next time.